Okay, good afternoon. Today, a new month. So we will continue where we have stopped last time. Then the now you may recall certain areas, right? So type of clients. Now somebody asked me last time. I don't know who asked me whether about the uh, people are talk about. Transportation card and things like that. No, actually it is a stored value card, right? It is a stored value card. I have put a small diagram to explain how this transportation or transit card, right, is a type of a stored value card. I can't remember who asked from me. So some student asked me whether this transportation or transit card, what type of card, right? It is a stored value card. Is like this. Now what happened? The passenger buys the card, top ups the card from a boutique or a bank or whatever, right? And passenger board to a bus, then passenger request for a ticket from A to B. Now A to B means, sections wise. Now say if person want to go from say from Mount Lavinia to Kolpiti, then you have a station. No, now they will Vellavat, Bambalapitiya, Kolpiti. So likewise, we have a sections A to B, right? Now suppose he going to get down from Dehiwala from Mount Lavinia. I assume that one spot bank will the transporter will charge 20 rupees, right? And he give his passenger request for a ticket from A to B, and then conductor keys in the destination, right? Okay, A to B, Dehiwala is B. Then Velamata is C, like that. Then the price comes. Passenger taps the NFC card on the ticketing terminal first, right? That person also have a machine, and then ticket is issued, and that amount will be deducted from the stored card. Okay. I don't know the students ask that question now. Rectify your problem. I don't know who asked that one. Okay. Clear? I don't know
Thank
who
you,
is
sir.
asked
It's
that.
clear, sir.
Right. What's your name, Puta? If you don't
So
mind.
I'm Tanushini.
Tanushini. Okay, Tanushini. You okay now? Right.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Tanushini. Right. Okay. We move into next now. The next slide. So have you discussed slips? I can't remember. Have we discussed what are the slips? Can anybody tell me? It's a slips is a retail payment system, what you call Sri Lanka interbank payment system, right? In an online interbank electronic fund transfer system, catering to low value payments, and that was introduced in 1994. And of course, this is the first payment system introduced in Sri Lanka before the even for RTGS. And of course, slips charge, I told you, I can remember I discussed, it's not 50 now, it is 30 rupees, right? Somebody told 25 is usually is maximum you can charge 30 rupees, right? And settlement is T plus 0. That means earlier you take 1 or 2 days, but now T plus 0 means the same day processing under 2 cycles per day, used for basically to settle the salaries. Suppose usually slip systems are used for salaries, because usually what happens, say bank, particular organization, say Kilsville for an example, now they are having all the account numbers of respective people who are working there and the amount, and then Keel sent to, for example, we say NTB, so they are on bank. No, so what happened? They make use of these slips for bank wise, right? So immediately you send it to the account, and there won't be an immediate settlement, right? So somebody from the bank has to run the slips. Then only is credited to your account. That is how slips is taking place, right? Okay, so that's a small value transaction. Then we discuss the development of SEFs, and that's we call the Common Electronic Fund Transfer Switch. Is an online fund transfer which introduced in August 2015. Yeah, in August 2015, uh, as a further strengthen the national payment network. Now, what is the difference between SEFT and SLIPS? Now, SEFT is on real-time fund transfer. Now, if you send the money to another person's account, it is automatically credited to the person you are sending the money. So that again, the limit is 5 million between only the SEFT members can do. And SEFT charges, as I discussed with you, over the counter is usually ATMs, and internet and mobile maybe usually 50. Now it has come down to sometime to 30. I think it's 50, I can remember, right? Okay, so these are the charges. Now the third one, as everybody is very well known, we call the RTGS system. Now RTGS system is a bulk, also online real time, but it's an electronic computer based fund transfer, and that was introduced in 2003. But the SEFT was introduced in 2015, right? But 1994 SLIPS is introduced. Now you can send through the bulk payment above 5 million, right? So what is a real time GS? Real time gross settlement system. Now somebody can ask, what is real time? Real time means no waiting time. That is normal one. What is gross? Gross means one-to-one basis uh, without bundling, right? එක සොට්ටයක් ගියාම එකකට join කරලා යවන්න බෑ. That is called that is what you call the gross one-to-one basis. Settlement, once processed, the payment funds are not recoverable. It's said it irrecoverable. Now, suppose now you know, due to some reason, you may not in a position to identify the RTGS, so it will get automatically erased from the system. End of the day, right? That is how RTGS work, and all these commercial banks need to maintain account depositing some money, we call a current account, with the Lanka Clear, right? So the more the transaction is going, it will debit and credit is taking place to respective bank, right? So usually type of transactions is RTGS is usually taking place interbank call money transaction. Now, sometimes examiner can ask from you, what are the type of transactions RTGS usually taking place? Of course, above 5 million. So what are the type of transaction? One transaction is interbank call money market transaction. Second type of RTGS, you can say government securities market transaction. So that means treasury bills and treasury bond you can transfer through the government securities. And also sometimes the RTGS used for transactions are open market operations. I think you know what is open market operations activities. You may heard about these things under survey, right? Then net check clearing transaction, right? And interbank related payment systems. And another one you call a common ATM switch transaction. So those are the transactions are taking place through the RTGS. If the examiner asks from you, what are the main type of payment settled through RTGS system? interbank call money transaction, government securities transaction, done through open market operations, and then interbank related payment system. All are high value amounts will move into the through that Rtga system, right? Okay, right. Then in your exam, in 2019 March exam, in our paper, that is clients management, was requested to write short notes on this methods used for transfer of funds on the same day. The candidate could explain any of the following methodologies. Now, the question is asked, methods of use for transfer of funds on the same day. They want, I have put it the other one, right? Method used for the transfer of funds on same day, right? Same day. Now, RTGS, SEFs, and slips. So you need to briefly explain how money gone through. Right. Okay, now look at it this also. I think, I don't know whether it has not given to you. Now, sometimes, I think under commercial banking, you may heard the things called systematically important bank. Have you heard, Puta? What is systematically important bank? Can anybody tell me? So what do you mean by systematically important bank? I think you may learn that one under commercial banking or survey. I can't remember, right? Tarashi, what is systematically important bank? How many banks in Sri Lanka identify as systematically important bank? If a question comes like that, it may be not my area, but for you to get an idea. Mahima, can you tell me how many, what are the banks Sri Lanka central bank has identified as significantly or domestically systemically important bank? What are the banks? How many banks and what are those banks? Can anybody tell me?
6 banks.
Yes. Now you are referring to Puta. Now you are referring to old method. Right now, that is why we need to update Puta. Right? That is why the importance of updating your knowledge. Now, yeah, 6 is there before 2020 January. Right? In 2019 January, the central bank has redefined how you need to categorize your domestically systematically important bank. So what are the 4 banks? Can anybody tell me? There are 4 banks. Yeah, 6 banks earlier. Yes, correct. Based on the asset base. Not that. 4 banks. No? What are these 4 banks? Now, based on that, they have put into the separate buckets. Sri Lanka, we don't have a bucket 3. So, what do you mean by a significantly domestically important bank? So, compared with other banks, they don't want to further strengthen their capital adequacy ratio. Right? They want to further say loss absorption. Right? LAR. You need to improve for this significant bank. Based on their levels, Sri Lankan banks, 4 banks are considered as domestically important banks. What are those banks? Goes under bucket 2. Who? Can tell me? Bank of Ceylon and Commercial Bank. Right? They want to have an additional buffer. That means additional capital. Right? So I'm just briefly touched because I am not supposed to discuss all these things. When it comes to me at your next next time you pass the IBS this preliminary course, go for DBS, IABF to DBF. I will teach you on that, right? But you are briefly touched on the commercial bank survey. I can't remember which subject, right? But doesn't matter. So second type is we call bucket 2, right? Bucket 2 banks are 2 banks. What are the 2 banks? People's Bank and HNB. People's Bank. Those are the 4 up to now. Now, how they have identified these 4 factors the central bank is it because of the size, because of the complexity, because of the structure and all the interconnectivity and all. There are factors central bank take into account when you're designing who are domestically significant bank. Okay, understood now. I just give you a brief. I don't think in this exam they may ask you what are the domestically important bank. Then you have to say Bank of Ceylon, Commercial, People's Bank, and HNB. Right? Those are now identified. Now we are not categorized from asset base, right? Not as additional. What is the difference is they need to put additional capital as a buffer. That buffer is called higher loss absorption, right? HLA, right? Okay, just for you to understand. Now, likewise, now since we come back to our question, now what is systematically important payment system? Now that is payment system. Now we may learn about 4 methods, no 3 methods. No, what are the 3 methods we learn? Payment systems we learn: SLIPS, SEFT, and RTGS. Now out of that, what is systematically important payment system? So payment system, right, is what you call systematically important payment system we call as SIPS. What do you mean by that? Is a large value payment system are considered to be significantly important payment system. Right now, why you call systematically important payment services? Since a failure of such a system with potentially endanger to the operations of the entire financial system. That is why we call them as systematically important payment systems. Okay, so something failure of that is why we say systematically domestically important bank. If those one of these 4 banks fail, that means it has a huge impact on the banking system, the financial system in Sri Lanka. That is why the regulator asked to keep more extra buffer, because they have enough money if something happens. So they can absorb such a stock. And also remember, they are having huge amount asset base from the total asset base in Sri Lanka and other banks, right? Around 40-50% they are having all 4 banks, right? I think now you understood. Likewise, what is systematically important payment system? Large payment, large value, if you want to put it, systematically important systems, SIPs are payment system that have the characteristic that a failure of these systems could potentially endanger of the operations of the whole economy, right? I don't know whether it is in your handout, but if not, just write down what is systematically important payment system, right? Okay, if your first point is more than enough, right? Systematically important payment system. Why I gave you? Because we had domestically systematically important banks also. Now you know what are those banks, right? Okay. Right. Now, there are 2 systems. There are 2 systems designated as SIPs in Sri Lanka. Right. Remember, in Sri Lanka, there are 2 systems designated as SIPs in Sri Lanka. Now, question can ask by the examiner, what is systematically important banks, important payment system? What are the two systems designated as such systematically important payment systems in Sri Lanka? One, of course, as you well aware, is Sri Lanka settle the Lanka settle system, Rtga systems, and Lanka secure. Now, so can anybody can ask from me, what is Lanka settle system in Sri Lanka? Right? So now, through the Rtga system, together with the government securities settle systems like treasury bills and treasury bill systems, as we call them as LSS, Lanka Secure System. So, okay, so both are we call them as Lanka Settle System. Now, Lanka Settle System consists of Rtgas plus Lanka Secure. Now, what is Lanka Secure mean? Basically, Lanka Secure systems is usually settled systems, treasury bills and treasury bonds settlement system. Other systems is, as you well aware, the check imaging and truncation system, right? Okay, now I think you know what are the two systems designated as SIPs in Sri Lanka. Systematically important systems like that. Okay, I hope those some of the things you need to remember. Right. Right. What is the maximum fee could be charged from customers by participating institution for Rtgas transaction according to the RACE's recent payment and settlement circular issued 18 of 2020. Now we got a similar question. I think I have already given you. We got a similar question which in this year they asked what is the maximum amount of mobile payments? How much? How much you can send it to the maximum through the mobile payment system? 50,000. Like 50,000, correct. Now, likewise, Rtgas transaction. What is the maximum charge you can take from a customer?
400.
400 rupees. Good, exactly. What was the earlier figure?
1000.
Right? 1,000 rupees. Very good. Now, as the circular here, 18 of 2020, so they have changed. Right now, accordingly, the above revision of fees will come from effect from 1st October 2020, replacing the payment and settlement system circular 3 of 2015. Now, for that, the maximum fee of rupees 1,000 per transaction charged by payment institutions from customers for effecting fund transfer to the Lanka settle system be reduced to rupees 400. Right, good. So new figures you need to know, because why I gave this one also, there's a question, of course. Now that type of question, a person who are involving only can answer. If somebody is not teach you, you don't know. But now you know what is the amount, right? Okay. Okay, now which of the following is as part of the systematic payment system of Sri Lanka? Part. What's the answer here? Answer is Rtgas. Right. Now we move into another important area. Okay, before that, can you now, I'll just we try to do if the examiner asks from you, what are the differences between slips, theft, Rtgas? Now suppose if your questions comes like that, now what you need, can you remember we did the same similar questions last week? What is the difference between what? Retail payment systems and large payment system. So likewise, can you just have a column right? 3 columns, slips, SEFT, RTGS, right? Okay. Now tell me, what are the differences between? You put one, take the volume. So then if you take the volume, what is the answer for the first thing? Slips. Under slips, what you need to write? If you take the transaction volume, value. Under slips, what you write? Low value transaction. Under SEFs, low value transaction. RTGS, high value transaction. Then you can say less than 5 million, 5 million, more than 5 million. Right? Simple. Huh? Second, if you can write also, if you don't have anything to write, you can say slip started in 1994, SEFT started in 2015, RTGS started in 2003 on the 2 points we read. Right? When they started. Settlement. How you put the settlement? Right? What is the settlement? Same day. Slip same day. That means T plus 0.
So excuse me.
Yeah, okay.
So can you please give the difference between RTGS and slips SEFT again?
SEFT. Again, right. Now, SEFT also low value transaction, less than 5 million. RTGS high value transaction, more than 5 million. That's the first one. Okay?
Okay, so
understood?
Thank you.
Right. Then if you take the value wise, slips, less charge, SEFT, less charge, RTGS, high charge. If you take the charge wise per transaction.
Excuse me,
Right?
sir.
Yeah.
Sir, regarding the time period, the cutoff time, there's a cutoff time for slips, right, sir? 1 o'clock or something like that. If
Yeah, but there's a two cycle is going on. Now for RTGS, he has a cutoff time around 3 and 1 o'clock. So I don't want to put into those things into complicated things. It may change, no. So that is why I take more concrete things, right? There is a cutoff line, right? Yes, but I don't want to put into that these things, right? So we just forget about the cutoff time. There's a cutoff time because there are 2 cycling was taken place for slips, right? That's why I don't want to put all these things, right? So we put the settlement, then is understood, right? Now the settlement T plus 0. So you will credit to the same account one of these 2 cycle, right? But as far as the SEFT is concerned, whatever settlement through how is differ from SIPs? How it differ from SIPs? SIPs is T plus
real
0.
time.
Real time. Very good. SEFT is real time. Right. That means 24/7, 365. Right. That also go on 2 cycle. And RTGS also how? That also same settlement real time. Okay. Right. Understood now? Right. So then if you take users. Now, what is the main can you give me some example how slips may be used? Most of the time,
Salary payments.
salary payments and another one, utility bill settlements, right? Utility bill settlement, right? SEFs, how SEFs are used?
Individual payments.
Individual payment, fund transfers. That's all. What else? Right? What else? So I will just tell you, and then you write it out. I will explain. Right? I will explain later on. Right? For the time being, can make payment through Who? From what? From ATM. You can pay it from your mobile phones, and you can pay to your internet, and also you can make payment through counter, right? Because it's real time basis, right? And also SEFT facilitate the payment of just pay. Just pay also use the SEFT system. And LPOPP, just put the word LPOPP, capital LPOPP. I will explain to you what you mean by LPOPP. Now just put SEFT facilitate the payments of just pay and LPOPP. Right. So RTGS in the SIPS form, right? In the SIPS. Okay. And they use the payment. What are the uses of RTGS? As I explained to you, you can just think interbank call money market transaction, government securities market transaction. Those are the payments settled through RTGS system.
Excuse me, sir.
Clear? Yeah. Go ahead.
Sir, regarding the previous slide, sir, can you please show me the previous slide? That question.
This one?
Yeah,
This
in
one?
that, sir, what about
Yeah.
CITs? Important payment.
No. That is at the SITS, CITS check image truncation system. Now this is question came on SFS, right? And which of the following as a part of the systematically important payment system? Now that was answers given as RTGS. That is the main system, no. But then as a single one, yes, you also can use 6, but then there's an argument for this question, right? But ultimately so students were asked put some 6 RTGS, both are correct in that case, right? But answers given for RTGS take into account as a part of systematically important payment system, right? There's a small argument of this answer, but answer is RTGS given where that was accepted. There are instances like that. There may be 2 answers. Sometimes we gave 2 students put B also gave the answers, correct answer, right? Sometimes, but considered B as a RTGS. Clear? Okay. Right. Now I just give you some comparison between SLIPS, SEFT and RTGS. If the exam comes, questions like that, you need to think on that, right? Okay. Now you move into
Sir,
yeah.
sir, how
It is
much?
not there.
No,
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
How much charges higher for SIFT?
SEFT is like this. This is how they charge. Now, for over the counter and other ATMs, right? They will charge 100 per transaction, and internet mobile ATM transactions, they have put it down to 30 rupees, right? 30. I have a question on this. 1 minute, I will have that question. 1 minute. I think I have prepared a question, right? Right. Okay. I have prepared a question. Can you just wait? We will discuss that matter and come back. I have given you a question, how much you charge, right? Okay. So we will just wait for a minute. I will explain on that during that time, right? Okay. Right. Okay. Now we move to just pay. Now I think some of your slide I have incorporated today, right? Some of the points I have incorporated today to better understand. I think so. You don't want to write as that. You just draw something. Now there's something wrong here. This is a possible question. This is a possible question examiner can ask from you. If you read your sentence here, What is the wrong? What is the wrong thing here? Just Pay is the latest initiatives of Lanka Clear, a concept endorsed by the central bank and several banks and finance companies to facilitate the secure real-time retail payments below rupees 10,000 and extremely low tariff scheme. What is wrong here? Something is wrong.
Initiated by
Now,
central bank.
No. That is why I told you there may be a question on this.
So below 10,000 and extremely low?
Yeah. Then what is the rate now? You are correct. Your answer is correct. Then I'll ask you, what is the maximum payment you can make through Just Pay?
50,000.
5 million?
50,000. Oh, no. Short value of short term.
Sorry, sir.
Now,
Yeah, 50,000.
Yeah, 50,000. Now, Just Pay, what is the method they use to settle real time? What is the methodology they use it? What is the payment methods they use it?
SWIFT.
SWIFT mean real time, right? So what is the definitely not high value? Definitely is less than. But for the specific Just Pay, because now a lot of banks are requesting to increase to 100,000, but to my knowledge, the payment and settlement earlier they have not increased up to 10,000, up to 100,000. Of course, they initiated with 10,000, and that was increased to 25,000. Right? And again, they have recently, I think last November or so, they have again increases to 50,000. Now, these are the type of question can ask. What is the maximum you can do use through the Just Pay? His answer is just cut rupees 10,000 and put 50,000. Clear? Understood. Now, what is Just Pay? Just Pay is a mode of making retail payments by customers using their smartphone devices or whatever the mobile devices by transferring money directly from his account, whether it's a current or savings account, to the merchant's account. Now, this is how the transactions is taking place. Now you see you are a customer of B bank. Now say bank B, customer of B bank. Now you do a transaction through the mobile apps from a mobile that was belong to bank A. But still the transaction is taking place, and ultimately there may be a settlement from B to A on that. Clear? Right? So irrespective of type of customer, because why the systems are linked now, like QR code, right? Okay, now you understood the mechanism, right? Just draw this diagram also, draw this one also, right? This is, you say customer B, you can say purchases goods and services and pay through his current or savings account, right? This is the from the connected to mobile app, connected to bank B, and then it goes to bank A, and then through Just Pay system, and it goes to bank B and do the transaction. Okay, that is online. What is the method they use for Just Pay? SWIFT. That's what you need to know. For Just Pay, you need to know two things: real time, right? Then I think now no value, right? No cost. Just Pay, then SWIFT system, and what is the amount? Maximum 50,000. Okay, right. So with this small note, we moving to Lanka Clear. So just to get an idea about the Lanka Clear, these are the national payment infrastructure provider for the country. And of course, the Lanka Clear belong to the central bank and some major commercial banks in Sri Lanka, right? And so they are the people who want to make the Sri Lankan cashless society by introducing a lot of platforms, right? They want to bring cashless society. They play a huge role under the brand name of Lanka Pay. Clear? That's what you need to know. So what are the product and services they are offering? All these things, right? SWIFT, US dollar clearing. I didn't touch on that, right? But common ATM switch, right? And then shared ATM switch, SWIFT, right? There are new things also come up. I will explain to you all later on, right? Okay. So now common ATM switch. What is common ATM switch? Now earlier what happened is an interbank, so you can go to only to particular respective ATM card you are having. Only you can go to that particular ATM, right, and withdraw the money. You can't go to any other. Say for an example, you are having a Sampath Bank account. You have the Sampath Bank ATM. You can't withdraw the money from other banks' ATMs, right? You need to have a Sampath. Unless otherwise, if you have a MasterCard or Visa, then you can make use of any ATM machine. Got my point, right? What happened earlier? Suppose if you have ATM cards which belong to only Sampath Bank, one option you have to go only for Sampath Bank ATM machine. Unless otherwise, if you have MasterCard or Visa facility, you can go to any ATM switch and take the money. But what happened then? Because these Master and Visa are not belong to Sri Lanka, some money need to go to those parent companies, to America. Because all these transactions are taking place, go to America and then come back. For that you need to pay money. So a lot of foreign exchange outflow of money from the country to another country. Imagine the transactions values. How much of money we are paying to other Visa and Master. During that time, remember, even now you can do it, but since we have a other machine, it's first go through that, right? 50 rupees they charge earlier. When you do a transaction through other than those common ATM switch through Visa and Master, right? So you had to pay 50 rupees. Now, in order to prevent that money is outgoing from the country and also provide convenience, the central bank, right, initiated linking the Sri Lankan ATM all together. That is why they put Lanka Clear logo, right? Those commercial banks who are members of the Lanka Clear can link to this sharing ATM network, right? This was introduced in 2013 under the brand name called Lanka Pay. I don't know whether you can remember, the circular came from Central Bank Payment Settlement System to display the the brand name of Lanka Pay of your ATM machines, like Visa, Masters. Earlier we put Master Visa card, right? So you can withdraw the money if your card is having that facility. Now they can use the Lanka Pay, right? Therefore, common ATM switch is an interbank ATM network that allows participants to use each other's ATMs in island-wide for withdraw money, clear check accounts and all. Of course, now say if you have a Sampath card, if you go to the Sampath ATM, you may charge only 10 rupees. But if you go to other banks' ATMs machine, how much they charge from your say account?
30 rupees.
30 rupees. But if you do the transaction using internet, Visa or Master, how much they charge? 50 rupees. Right? Clear? Right. You got my point, right? Okay. So, but now the money is not going out from the country. It is remained with the Sri Lanka because of Lanka Clear. That means the Lanka Clear Private Limited initiated the two common ATM switch. That was in 2013. Now, there's another thing. I don't think you have something here. You just put it under the same common ATM switch. There is something called shared ATM switch. Common ATM switch and shared ATM switch. What is the difference? CAS and SAS. Now, just listen to me. Now, there are some organizations, some banks, and some finance companies, for that matter, they don't have a technical skills or funds or system for their own to getting into the common ATM switch. So therefore, Lanka Pay have a separate facility for those banks and finance companies to share their ATMs. Right now, say for that was initiated. First participants of this was the first introduced by in Regional Development Bank. Now Regional Development Bank, RDB, they don't have their own ATMs. Now Sampath having their own ATMs. People's Bank also having ATMs. Likewise, they're having OT. They're all separate chain. But remember, for that you need more money. RDB don't have their own ATM network. So they go to the Lanka Pay and try to share with other banks. Right? For that, shared ATM switch was introduced. Right? Development Finance Limited joined as the second participant. Right? Anybody, if we don't have an ATM network their own, they can get the support from shared ATM switch. Now you know the difference between common ATM switch and a shared ATM switch. Okay, clear? If you don't have a system, your own ATM network, still you can have the same facility through the Lanka Clear, right? So they provide this facility. That is called shared ATM switch. Understood? Now, for example, the first one got that benefit by the RDB Bank, right? Okay, next one. Now, this question came in your commercial banking. Simple question, right? 2019 March 1st. What is the answer?
B.
What is the payment system introduced by Lanka Clear that support real-time electronic fund transfer of individual customers?
B. Answer is B.
B. Common
Answer is B.
electronic.
SWIFT.
Correct. Good.
SWIFT.
Simple, huh? Yeah. Okay. Any question? Simple, huh? Right. Next one. Now, this is the our question. March 2018. You are the branch manager of a bank and one of your important customer has requested you via email to transfer rupees 1.5 million from his account to an account of a third party, in addition, in another bank on the same day. Briefly explain the methods to carry out this transaction on the same day by the bank. Now, they are given some condition, right? Request you are via email to transfer rupees 1.5 million from his account to an account of a third party in another bank on the same day. What are the methods you can suggest?
Slips.
That's only. Yeah. Yeah, answer is one is correct. What are the methods? Now, also you need to look at it, the word. Question word. What is, briefly explain the method to carry out. What is there? Methods. So you had to be smart. Hari. Okay, now before that. Yeah, okay, go ahead. Somebody want to ask me a question? Now, before that, before you do the needful, I think you need to do something. What is that?
Justification of the email.
Email, very good. That is the one. You need to verify. Right? Okay. First, you need to verify the email. Then only you initiate the methods. Right? So then you can have two options. One option is theft. Other one is what? Slips. Now, if the customer requesting from you his account to an account of the third party or another bank on the real-time basis, then what is the method? Then you can't use what?
Slip.
What is the slips? That question was prepared in such a way to understand, right, what is the most suitable methods to transfer the money. Same day, the same day කිව්වොත් slips එන්න පුළුවන්, theft එන්න පුළුවන්. Now you have got the clear, no? There are two important things you need to answer. First, of course, because it comes through the email, so you need to verify the email. And second, so you can do both ways. So you need to explain what is theft and what is slips. Clear? Understood now? Okay? Now you see, you need to understand the question, right? Okay, same day. Not online, but if you say same day, it doesn't mind, no, you are going in the real-time basis. Right. Okay. I hope you understood the question. Right. Now, the maximum fee charge on a transaction, except for a transaction effected through Lpopb, shall not exceed in the respect of fund transferred effected through internet banking, mobile banking, 3, ATM of respective member thefts.
30.
Yeah, us 30. Right, good. Now, nobody asked from me what is Lpopb. Right, now I'm going to talk about what is Lpopb. Right, a small thing. What is Lpopb? Now, if the questions comes like this, what is the first thing you need to do? Suppose anything, even slips, even theft, even RTGS, you need to mention what is RTGS stand for. We need to think always the examiner who is going to mark your paper don't know any damn thing. Don't assume he knows what is RTGS. Yeah, RTGS දන්නවා කියලා හිතන්න එපා. So if say what is LPOPP QOver, so that means what is LPOPP stand for? What is LPOPP stand for? Can anybody tell me? What is LPOPP stand for? Another payment method. What is that? The Lanka Pay or online
Payment
payment P
platform.
platform. Yeah. හිතලා හරි ලියන්න මතක් වෙන්න ඕනේ. මේ වචන සෙට් එක online, right? Lanka Pay online payment platform, right? That is the LPOP stand for. Now you need to explain what is LPOPP. What is the purpose of LPOP? Now remember, LPOPP, that is Lanka Pay online payment platform, enable online real-time payments to whom?
Government agencies.
Government institutions. Using what method? Using what method?
SWIFT.
SWIFT methods. That's good. Right. So that's the one. Okay, you can write. Purpose is Lanka Pay online payment platform, enable online real-time payments to government institution using CEFTs, CEFTS, right? So what are the LPO facilitate government institutions? Can tell me
Inland
what?
revenue.
Inland revenue, good. Then what are the other institutions? Sri Lanka?
Police.
Port Authority, very good. Port Authority, Sri Lanka Customs, right? Inland Revenue. Now they have expanded. Port Authority, even EPF. Then you have BOI payments. Colombo Musical Council also, now you can have that facility. And Import-Export Control Department, right? These are the, and certain Minister of Provincial Council also, local government projects also, okay? And also Sri Lanka Standard. Now there are many institutions getting that facility, right? This is, that question can be asked because it's good for customers to. Now customers who want to pay the duties, customs duties, want to pay their inland revenue charges or whatever the payments, right? EPF payment can be sent by companies, and then Port Authority payments, some clearance, BOI something, CMC, right? Okay, good. So therefore, how this function work? Now, customer directly connect to their bank's accounts via any channels. Customer can logging directly connect to their bank's account through what methods? Usually either internet, mobile, or over the counter, right? Methods or ATM, and make payment SIPs to the respective organization. And you get, usually payments are credited real time. Usually you get the sort of a confirmation letter from that respective organization. You have done the payment like that. Right. Then that is a new area. That's a possibility of asking some question. Okay. Now you know what is LPOPP. Have you heard or have you learned from any other subject area about LPOPP? No, you are supposed to learn, right? Okay, Hari. Then we move into Okay, now this is another question. I can't remember which question paper it came, right? Identify the most suitable financial services that could be provided to meet the following customers. I'll ask from you. A large corporate customer to pay salaries of employees without issuing currencies. What is the method?
RTGS.
Slips.
Slips, not RTGS. Why? Pay salaries. Okay, large export customer. One customer may send you a list of different people, different account numbers. Banks need to do the needful, right? Okay. Second, government to finance the road development project involving high level of funding requirements.
RTGS.
RTGS. Now you can use to some extent that the method what we have discussed earlier. Okay. A corporate customer who imports food items to the country. A corporate customer who imports food items to the country.
RTGS.
RTGS. Also, you can use the method what we have discussed, right? Okay, next one. An individual customer
Excuse me, sir.
who, yeah.
What about telegraphic transfers for imports?
Yeah. Okay. That also. What is the real answer should be is this. Not RTGS. What is the method?
Lpopb.
No.
TT.
Don't go to that level. That is what. Now suppose, so how are you going to do the payments? If you're going to
TT.
import
TT.
TT.
TT, oh,
LCs.
LCs.
LCs. But TT is little careful why they put big amount, you cannot use the TT. Right? Because banks are discouraged to open TT if a large value. Right? So therefore banks always encourage for you to open LCs. Okay? Are there? මේවට RTGS නෑ පුතා මට ඒ වෙලාවේ පොඩ්ඩක් අමතකුණා ඒක කියන්නේ. This is a method of settlement, right? An individual customer who want to donate, now this is imports item from another country න පුතා. එතකොට අපේ මේ ඇතුලේ තියෙන system RTGS systems හරියන්නේ නෑ. එතකොට RTGS system, slip systems all are within the country. Okay? Right. An individual customer who wants to donate fixed monthly contribution to the students for his education. Now don't go.
Slips and splits.
Right. What is that?
Standing order.
Standing order. Good. Right. Now you see the different type of services offered by bank for different types of customers. Clear now? Understood now? Right? An individual customer is a monthly payment. So best thing is rather than you're sending every day, you're sending him a what? Sending a simply a standing order. Right? If it is a regular thing, always use standing order. Clear now? You understood? Are they? Right. Now, so we move into the SWIFT. What is SWIFT? It stands for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. Now I will ask from you whether SWIFT is a payment method. Yes or no? Simple question. SWIFT is a payment method or not?
No.
No. Then what
No.
is no, SWIFT is not a payment method, right? SWIFT is a messaging. It's a messaging system, right? Okay. It provides a network that enables financial institutions worldwide to send and receive information about the financial transaction, right? Information only, yeah, not sent to the money through the SWIFT system, right? And that is only communicated there. Okay. So just to get an idea about what is SWIFT.
So what does the S stand for?
Pardon?
What does the S in the Swift system? Swift S stand for what? The word
Swift key stand for worldwide financial telecommunication, worldwide telecommunication, right? You mean SS is that's a stand for worldwide interbank financial telecommunication, right? Okay, right.
okay, sir.
Then following is not a facilitate fund transfer. What is the answer? I just want to get an idea about this. What is
Swift.
the answer? Swift.
D.
Ola, funny transfers except for Swift. Okay, now we move into the QR payments, QR code payments, right? And this is QR code payment is a contactless payment method where a payment is performed by a mobile app. So this is an alternative to doing electronic funds, and you can transfer the accounts. Again, what method you are using for QR payments? Also,
Swift.
good, right? Now, of course, now, so if the questions comes like this, put it in a different way. I hope you know something on that, right? Okay, questions asking for QR code payment in a different way. Let me put the questions like this. What is the benefits of QR code payments to your country? Benefits to the financial institution, benefit to the merchants, and benefits to the customer. Tell me one each. This is the type of question may ask. Rather than talking about the QR code payment, now everybody is aware of. So what is the benefit of having a QR code payment system in a country for payments for a country, a financial institution, and also for a merchant, and also to the customer? Give me one by one benefits.
Customer does not need to carry money physically.
Right, okay, good. That's I'll accept it. Okay, then customer convenience.
And
Okay,
it's securitized.
secure, user friendly. Good. Then
It is securitized.
securitized. Good, very good. Now
Cost
tell me
effective
about the
for financial.
customer financial institution.
Cost effective.
Yeah, access to low cost and secure digital payment, and for customers as well as merchandise. Good. For country, for a country. Now think something common things. Now that's what we learn common things. I can remember I told you, if there's something comes like this, there are some common things like cost effective and all things like. Now here, what is the benefit to the country having a QR code payment?
No environment pollution.
Okay. Not a bad idea. I also not thought on that. Okay, I'll accept your answer. Right. What else?
Accuracy of the payment.
Rather than that, look at from the country's point of view.
Development of the country.
Financial literacy.
Yeah, literacy. The vada tava ekak තියෙනවා. We are going to learn all these things in our next session. Rather than literacy, yes, correct. That means formalize informal sector. Okay, we'll accept that also. How we call formalize informal sector? That means one way is improve the financial literacy. Good. Another important thing. What is a famous word? We are going to learn that also.
Inflation.
Okay, come on. No, not that. In කෑල්ලක් තමයි එන්නේ. අපි ඒකට කියනවා financial what? හැමෝම ගෙන්නවා මේ පද්ධතියට. How you call that? Financial
intermediaries.
intermediaries.
Financial inclusion.
Inclusion, that's the word. Financial inclusion, right? Financial inclusion, as well as it will support it, like one student told, environmental issues, as improve the cashless society, and that is why, and save a lot of money printing cost and all things, right? Okay, good. Right, and also QR code payment support the national drive for digitalization. Right now, so these things you need to look at it in a different, how this famous method benefited. Okay, right, some of the good answers you having, and how is benefit for merchants. You didn't touch that part, no? How this part merchant. Now imagine this, if you have a separate machines, separate terminal, right? What happen? If you have a separate terminal, so for that you need to pay a huge money for QR code payments, small merchant to invest in high cost POS devices. They don't want. Now these POS devices are costly. So merchants, small merchants can also get into the business without incurring high cost, right? Therefore, reduce fees to acquiring bank to process transaction, right? So they need to pay some money, it is reduced. Okay? Right. So you need to look at it on those aspects as well. Right. Now we are moving to, okay, before that, there's another one I want to, first we look at, Fintech. Right. Now we are moving to Fintech. You know what is Fintech? How the Fintechs came? In fact, the Fintech came basically through combinations of financial technology, right? Financial technology. The today's Fintech's market value. What is the total market value you think in Fintechs today? Can anybody have an idea about the Fintech market value? Can anybody give me the market value? It is around 125 US dollars billion. Huge market value, right? Now, Fintechs can be described as a technologically enabled financial innovation that could result in a new business models, application, processes, products with associated with material effect on financial market and institutions and provisions of financial services, right? So according to the fintechs in the world, a lot of investors, right, are willing to invest fintech companies or fintech initiatives. Therefore, a lot of investors are investing in fintech companies today when you're compared with other investment areas, right? That you need to know. Okay, what are the goods and the bads of fintech? Right? Now, one thing is potential to lower the cost of intermediations. Those are good things. Broaden the access to finance, increasing financial inclusion. Right? They also support financial inclusion. And fintechs try to avoid or find information asymmetrics. What do you mean by asymmetrics? Information they try to provide information to the both parties, both to the customer, to everyone. Usually banks informations are one-sided. Banks information, banks dealings, transactions are one-sided favor. But fintechs try to communicate to everybody. Right? What are the bad side of the fintechs? People are talking about the data privacy. Data may be used inappropriately. There may be a lot of cyber attacks than the normal banking. There may be anti-money laundering and counterfeiting, terrorist financial risk is there, right? So some people are misuse the technology, lack of poor knowledge of users being prone to cyber threats, right? So these are some of the goods and the bad things about the fintechs, right? So get some idea about the fintech. What do you mean by Rtga? If somebody asks in your paper, somebody can ask, like fintechs, what is Rtga? Rtech. If somebody asks, what do you mean by Rtga? What is the answer? Rteg, Rteg, right? So like fintech, Rteg means regulatory plus technology. So therefore, the management of regulatory process within the financial industry, through technology, we call them as Rteg. Right? Examiner can test you. What do you mean by Rteg? Right? So fintechs are used in the regulatory industry. The regulatory process within the financial industry through technology we call Rteg. Now, what are the benefits of Rteg? Now, regulatory monitoring, reporting, compliances, right? All you can do through Rteg. Now, those are the issues we are facing, sending reports, right, and monitoring them. And then are we adhering to these all rules, regulations of government and our regulator and our internal controls, right? That is what you call compliance, right? So all things can be monitored through Rteg, right? So the Rteg, management of regulatory process within the financial industry through technology, we call them as Rteg. So therefore, similar thing can we call InsurTech. That means technology, use of technological innovation, design in the financial business. In the insurance business called InsurTech. Right? There are new techs coming up. Right now, the fintechs is give a lot of competition to the bank, and some say from 2011 to 2014, some research I have read recently, around 700 million accounts was opened by customers, not go to the banks. They are using fintech methodologies to open accounts. So there are a lot of fintech companies. They provide crowdfunding. They provide peer-to-peer lending, right? There are a lot of financial instruments. Now, recently, the NetWealth Bank. Have you heard about these guys? Anybody who is interested about the cricket, what is NetWealth? NetWealth, the sponsor, like Sri Lankan cricket team sponsored by Dialog. Likewise, England cricket team was sponsored by maybe last year NetWest, right? It's a bank. Now recently, the NetWest Bank in UK introduced a mobile application, right? Mobile application, what you call the open banking, right? For that apps we call, I can't remember, the app is called Mortgage or something. Now, if the people who are living in flats or apartments, owner want to get the rent quickly, rent at the correct time. Now, with the support of fintech company by the network bank in UK, and they were permitted customers to a third party options to get into their account and pay directly to the respective fees to the tenant. So new things, right? So there are new innovations are taking place. Right. Now, I think fintech regulatory sandbox. Now, Sri Lanka also, central bank also want to support fintech initiatives, right? So, because we have highly regulated banking system in Sri Lanka now, so therefore we need to give more benefits to the make use of more fintechs. So, therefore, central bank provide some relaxations of regulatory requirement for certain selected fintech products and companies to develop some financial innovations. Just relax some rules and regulation if they want to come up with new finance innovative products. For that, we call fintech regulatory sandbox. It provides the relaxations of regulatory requirements for such selected fintech product and organization to come up with some innovative ideas for Sri Lankan financial market to test their idea in their real life situation. So that is what you call fintech regulatory sandbox. Now, why all things are given? You see this question. Now, this is your exam paper, which was the last exam paper in Gen 221. What is open banking? Now, we discuss open banking at technology, I think marketing. What is open banking? Right? You are given permission, right? Banks information can be taken by the third party, provide customer services, of course, with the approval of customer. Now, which I told you a little while ago, also some initiative of open banking. Right. Second one, what are the measures taken by bank to prevent fraud in dormant accounts? We will discuss later on. Then, what is meant by electronic fund transfer card? So you can, that also you can immediately transfer money from one account to another account using some devices, electronic devices, which is called fund transfer card. So what are the advantages? Okay, that we are going to discuss later on. Then you see the last question. What is meant by fintech regulatory sandbox? Right. So only simple 2 marks. Then you need to write security sandbox provide temporary relaxations of regulatory requirements for selected fintech products, enabling developers to conduct the necessary testing of their products in a lively environment. But you remember, you don't want to give the same way, right? So you can make use of your own words. We gave marks to student use. I have given the same thing last time also, and the questions came without that question, right? So what is Security Sandbox mean? It provide facility to fintech company to come up with their new ideas within the real life situation with the supervisions of central bank. That's all, right? That means they are flexible. I mean, they are relax certain restrictions. That's all. If you have some idea on that, we give marks. Right. Okay. Certain things you need to remember, right? Okay. Before I wind it up, I told you something also. Right? Okay. This one, what is a common POS switch? Now we talk about common ATM switch. We talk about common shared ATMs. Likewise, right? CPS, what they are trying to do through common ATM switch, what they try to do? They try to link all the ATM machines. Likewise, through the common POS, what Lanka Clear is trying to do, to link all these POS terminals together. Now today what have we have a separate POS machines. So now you go to the Cargills or you go to the any supermarket or any place, you may have a 3-4 separate POS machines. Transactions take place differently. So therefore, rather than that, now you can have a one POS machine. So that is, they try to link all the POS switches, machines together. Now through what they try to do, like maximum efficiency. Now people don't want to spend money for buy machines, POS machines, right? And also objective is CPS, right? Lanka Pay, right? CPS command POS switch are to achieve maximum efficiency and speed with regard to switching of domestic or cross-border, not on us POS transaction. Okay, now I'll ask you a question. What do you mean by not on us POS transaction? Can anybody tell me what is not on us POS transaction? Not on us POS transaction. So examiner can ask you for what is not on us POS transaction. අයියෝ මහා බරාරුන් දෙයක් නෙමෙයි. What is that? Means a transaction originated at a CPS member's POS terminal by a customer of another CPA member. Now, simply like this. Now, say you are say HNB customer, for example, right? So you do the transaction at supermarket, right? Through Sampan Bank terminal. That is called not on us POS transaction. So once you have a common POS switch, you don't want to worry about not on us POS transaction, right? So what is not on us POS transaction means a transaction originated at a CPS member. CPS means, right, common POS switch members POS terminal by a customer of another CPS member. Example, Sampat POS terminal is used by HNB customer. Right? Okay. Clear now what do you mean by of course these common POS switch has to be gone through Rtga system, right? Only the primary POS transactions being the banks who are having a RTGS account in the Lanka Clear can do transaction, but that doesn't mean other people, like now say for an example National Savings Bank, other people, other specialized bank not supposed to have a RTGS bank. So therefore this bank also can join, but through whom? To another primary dealer. The primary dealer means primary bank, right? Okay, remember, so they have a open account with, now say NSB, or have an account with Bank of Ceylon. Now they use the POS transaction, right? Okay, through them. Right, so you know what you mean by a not on a POS transaction and what is a common POS transaction. In Sri Lanka, remember, we have a co-branded, at the moment, this is still under regulatory conditions. This is not yet fully introduced in Sri Lanka, right? They are under regulatory, they are looking regulatory aspects of this. But one thing is already implemented in Sri Lanka is we have a co-branded card which use the common POS switch. What is that co-branded card we call? Can anybody tell me? In Sri Lanka, we have a common POS switch. We are using a particular co-branded credit card, payment card. How you call that? That is which is we are linked to Japanese international company JCB International with Lanka Clear jointly introduce a co-branded payment card we call Lanka Pay JCB. It is a common POS switch card. If you take that card into any switch and transactions taken place through the system, right? So example for common POS switch at the moment is Lanka Pay JCB co-branded payment card. Lanka Pay JCB, right? So those are new things you're going to learn maybe next year or two more details, right? Right. So with this, now we're just going to wrap up quickly. And fee-based services. Now fee-based services, you know, basically services bank charges fee or a commission for rendering for their services, right? There's no fund disbursement involved in here. Fee-based services become important. So we are provide fee-based services to corporate as well as the retail customers. Then what are the services or common fee-based services offered by corporate clients? Letter of credit, bank guarantees, bill discounting, factoring, forex services, merchant banking, custodial services, advisory services are given by bank for corporate clients to get more fee. Then for retail-based customers, what are the income from fee-based? Provide payments like, you know, transactions, money transfers, fund transfers, remittances, online trading, credit cards, e-banking, mobile banking, all other services we offered by the bank to retail customers, right? So payment, other than the payments, customers, we bank earn fee-based income apart from the interest-based income by providing different type services to both retail customers and corporate customers. Okay, right. Now with this note, we are going to stop the or you are going to finish, in fact, the payment customers. Any questions, Futa? I know it's a new things, right? If you are logging to central bank website, you can get a lot of information on this, right? Get more information on this, especially for payment and settlement web. Okay, right. Achala, you're okay? Achala, we are going to stop now. Stop mean not the class, right? Next one. Okay. How about Naguleswaran? Okay. Son, okay?
Okay, sir.
Right, okay. So now, therefore, we are moving to a very interesting area again, right? So we are going to discuss about customer protection laws and practices. Now, you need to understand, we are not going to study case studies and things like that, but we are going to cover about customer protection laws. As a financial customer, what are the laws benefited to them, and what are the laws prevailing in Sri Lanka to protect our financial institutions as well, right? Okay, let me first just tell you what are the areas we are going to cover. So these are the areas, right? That is your syllabus. Now, first, why regulating in financial services play an important role? Why regulating financial institution is important? Why you think? Why you need to regulate? First one, we discussed at the very beginning, financial business is based on trust and confidence. So in order to build the trust and confidence, you need to regulate the financial institution. That's the first point. Second point, you know, these financial products are very complex. Usually it is difficult to understand, right? So therefore somebody need to protect customers who purchase these products and services. And remember, banks are runs with depositors' money. When you compare with the bank with another institution, other institutions, shareholders play a big role. They are the people who pump the capital to the business. But as far as the banks are concerned, what is the main source of funds? Depositors' money, right? So therefore, you need to protect those depositors. For that, we need much regulation. Then, and also remember why, another point, why we need to regulate financial institutions. The financial institutions are the backbone of any country's economy. Next point you can put it. Financial institutions are the backbone of country's economy. If the financial institutions clash, so that means what happened? Economy also collapse. You have experience about great financial crisis which took 2008, 7-8. Right. And also, businesses very much risk. Business is very much risk. Now, these are the reasons why we need to regulate financial institution. Okay, clear? Right. Next point. There are many reasons why regulations are passed. One, you need to protect your customers. You need to protect your consumers. Right? That is the one aspect. Second aspect, to maintain the soundness of financial institution. We regulate financial institutions to soundness, otherwise financial institutions collapse. One institution's collapse, you know what happened to other institutions. So therefore, we must have some practices and rules to protect financial institutions. Examples: to maintain capital adequacy requirement, maintain liquidity requirement, like that. We're going to touch all this a little later on. Then, and also not only the financial institution, we need to stabilize the financial system. Entire financial system needs to be stabilized. That is one of the main objective of the central bank. Stability of the financial system. Fourth one, to obviate or reduce criminal activity concerning the money. Now, bank cannot use by culprits or illegal people to clean their dirty money. So, selling drugs, selling weapons, right? They earn illegal money. You know, once the money comes to the bank of those people, is going out from the money is clean money. So bank therefore act as sometimes as a laundry. So regulators are there, regulations are there, not bank to be act as a laundry, right? So we need to regulate not to take all illegal money into banking system, where we are going to discuss anti-money laundering, those financial transaction reporting, FIU, terrorist finance, all things we are going to learn under that. Okay? Now, I think you have an idea about how we are going to cover this section. We need to protect customers. We need to protect financial institutions. Regulator need to protect the system. And regulator want to protect the banks, not to involve in getting unwanted illegal things. Now, entire session of this section, I'm going to pivot it all on these four factors. Clear? Understood? Right. So very interesting. So the first one I'm going to talk about what are the roles, what are the regulations, and what are the initiatives taken by the respective regulators, governments, the banks, the general law to protect innocent financial customers. What are the practices adopted by banks, need to be adopted by the banks to protect customers? Right? Clear? Okay. Now, so we are going to touch all these 4 points. What are the laws and practices that protect financial institution, system, and cleaning or not involving getting bad businesses. right? I think now you have an idea about how we are going to touch this area. It's very interesting again. Okay, first we'll take what actions, what initiatives taken by regulators, banks, and law in Sri Lanka to protect consumers. Okay. Now, before I move into this, we have already learned two important areas or two important things. Initiatives taken by law or regulator to protect customers. Okay, now I'll just ask from you, what are the two areas where we have learned? What we have learned now in our previous lectures to protect, what actions we have learned to protect customers. Dekak, we learned. Two things we have learned. Can you tell me one?
Deposit insurance scheme.
Yeah, but we have not learned yet. No, correct. But we have not touched on that yet. But okay, accepted. Good, very good. What we have learned? Deposit insurance scheme we have not learned. No, but I'm asking you what we have learned before. We are going to discuss so many things. Okay, what you said is correct. But what is the things what we have learned?
Banker secrecy.
Oh, that also we are going to discuss. Still, I have not discussed with you. Okay, that's also correct. Good. Tell me another one. What we have learned in our earlier sessions? Think about customers' money without going to the courts. No idea. Customers are misled by lot of banks showing double your interest. What is that?
Marketing strategies.
Yeah. Common word. People need to understand some technical word. We discuss questions. Monthly interest is so much. What is the this rate?
AER.
AER, very good. That is the one thing we have already learned, no? Right? In order to protect the customers, central bank has given whatever the advertisement you carry out with regard to interest rate, you need to show what? Annual effective interest rate. So we have already learned, no? Double your interest, double your payments. So whenever a bank show any advertisements with regard to interest rate, so you need to show annual effective rate. Right. Okay. Second one, same thing. Will person come up with court order? He comes with the court order. By that time, Mrs. So and so bought the court order, but manager told something to her.
Nomination.
Nominations. So nomination also to some extent protect customers, no? Ensure that the money is going to that. Okay, just food for thought, right? Good. Right? You have to learn all these things, Puta, right? Okay, right. So now let me explain. Protect customer. Now you know. Now a lot of people are carrying certain financial institution, and our innocent customers get into courts. One of the reasons is the products are very, as I explained to you, technical nature. So how many of our customers are aware other than the FD, how you calculate our saving interest rate? They deposit the money, they withdraw the money, they again deposit the money, withdraw the money. End of the month, we put in your savings account as interest received 247.50 rupees. So they never ask from us, no? How you, for FD, at least you can have an idea. Okay, 10% interest rate at the 1 year. If there's no any taxes, if you 100,000, you get 10,000. That, of course, you can understand. But for a savings account, deposit, withdraw, end of the day, you put small amount, no? So they never tested you. So people not try to understand because of the technical nature of the product. So cannot understand how to calculate. But there is a methodology of calculating. But people, it's very difficult to explain to them. Not like FD for savings account. Penal rate and all sort of things, right? It's very difficult. Any innocent customer, they pay. Right? If you put it wrong figures, they still pay, no? So therefore, somebody need to protect the customers because of why technical product. And as I explained to you, contracts are often one-sided favor. දැන් අපි දෙනවනේ අස්සන් ගන්න පොත් මොන හරි ලෝන් එකක් ගත්තම දෙනවනේ හින තෝගය අස්සන් කරලා අස්සන්. කස්ටමර් මොකද කරන්නේ? Because of they are very greedy about taking the loan, අපි කියන හැමතැනම අස්සනක් ගන්නවා. ගහලා පස්සේ පොලියාව තමයි දන්නේ. I am not aware of this, no. Then what we show the agreement, you have already signed. You can easily cheat the customer. That is the nature of financial product. A lot of people somebody talk about financial illiterate or financial literacy level in Sri Lanka is around 30%. But financial, our writings, reading ability is 90 odds. But financial literacy we discuss very low. Right? So therefore poor customers need to protect. Then information already asymmetric. So we tell the customer only the good things to him. We never tell about the bad thing to the customer. Always one-sided favor and also asymmetric. Right? We little while ago we discussed the role of a fintech company. Provide more information to the customers to take a decision. Right? Okay? Usually we want. And also comparison of through price extremely difficult. Very difficult to compare apple to apple. Good example is AER. 3-year deposits, one people can say 30%, one people can say 17%. Innocent person go for 30% without knowing the AER. Right? So because of these difficulties, right? So we need to have a mechanism to protect my customers. Right? Now, first we discuss why customers get into these problems because of these reasons. Now we are going to look at it. What initiatives taken by respective organization to protect customers? First one is called Financial Ombudsman. Right? Financial Ombudsman. How many ombudsmen in Sri Lanka? How many type of ombudsmen in Sri Lanka? There are 3 type of ombudsmen in Sri Lanka. Can anybody tell me who are these 3 people? Where their office is located? What are their jobs? Come on. There are 3 ombudsmen in Sri Lanka. One guy is located in where? You know, the first, before you moving to that, What is ombudsman? Now, actually, the ombudsman word derived from the Swedish word. Ombudsman is an English word, but it is derived from the Swedish word. Now, in ombudsman is Swedish. Why Swedish? The Swedish people are the first people who introduced ombudsman to the world. Right? Now, what is in Swedish term used for the ombudsman? We call umbod plus mata. It's not a Swedish word, right? We call this umbod plus mata. Umbod mata tamai ombudsman කියලා આવે. English word. Right? It's a Swedish word converted to the English name ombudsman. Right? Now, in definition in what you call the dictionary definition for ombudsman is what? It is a government official appointed to investigate complaints made by individual against the government or public services. That is of the technical definition. Right, coming back to my question. Who are the three ombudsmen in Sri Lanka? Actually, the ombudsman initiated in 18th century by the Swedish people, right? And it was widely recognized. In Sri Lanka, in 1978, ombudsman was established. Not financial ombudsman. He is the, now I think you may recall, is who? Parliamentary ombudsman. Parliamentary ombudsman. There's an ombudsman in the parliament. That's the first guy. In 1970 to start. And the second ombudsman is the financial ombudsman. That was initiated in 2003. But earlier, remember, there won't be a financial ombudsman. The earlier they came up with the idea called bank ombudsman. So therefore, other financial institutions like leasing companies, primary dealers also want to have an ombudsman. So therefore, they have changed the name from bank ombudsman to financial ombudsman to cover all the areas. So therefore, in Sri Lanka, and this scheme was established by as a separate private institution on 1st December 2003. Now we have learned two ombudsmen. Now ombudsman mind, it is not a new things to us. Even for King's time, we had ombudsman. How we call ombudsman in Sinhala? Dugganna Rala. Right? In Sinhala times also Dugganna Rala කෙනෙක් ඉඳලා තියෙනවා. හැබැයි යා මේ සාමාන්‍ය අයගේ දුක් ගන්න නෙමෙයි රජතුමාගේ මේවා ප්‍රශ්න වලට තමයි දුක් ගන්නා. But whatever said and done, there was a Dugganna Rala in ancient times also. That's the second ombudsman in Sri Lanka, is the financial ombudsman. Can anybody tell me who is the third ombudsman? Who is the third ombudsman? Come on. You may know. Financial ombudsman and insurance ombudsman, both are living in the same building. Somewhere in Vajira Road, Colombo 5, Colombo 3. What is that other ombudsman? We call insurance ombudsman. Right? There are separate person to look after financial grievances, for insurance grievances. We call insurance ombudsman. right? These are the three main ombudsmen, but there are some other ombudsmen. අර නමකුත් තියෙනවනේ වසන්ත දුක් ගන්නාර කියලා කොණ්ඩේ බදලයි. He also දුක් ගන්නාර. Right? But financial ombudsman, parliamentary ombudsman, and third guy is the insurance ombudsman. But we are talking about the financial ombudsman. Now, what is the job of a financial ombudsman? Right? Now, of course, this was introduced in 2003. Who is the first ombudsman in Sri Lanka? Who is the first ombudsman in Sri Lanka? Right? Is one Mr. Ladduwa Hetty. One Mr. Ladduwa Hetty. Right? Then, after his retirement, usually his period is 2 years, right? Can extend it. But usually a retired judge or person who have a knowledge about the banking. Then the next ombudsman in Sri Lanka is what you call MAPA. Not Suraj, MAPA. Then the third ombudsman is Shelton Ranaraja. Now, sometimes the examiner asks from you, he's not here. Who is the present ombudsman in Sri Lanka? Not there. Who is the present ombudsman in Sri Lanka? Can anybody tell me? Right? Okay, I'll leave it for you. Right? Find it out. Who is the present ombudsman in Sri Lanka? Can anybody tell me what is his name? He's the fourth guy after establishment of ombudsman scheme 2003. He's the fourth person who holding this post. He was a former DFCC legal officer. I know all this. I also one time director of financial ombudsman, because there's a rotating things is going on. Right. Okay. Who is the first, the present financial ombudsman in Sri Lanka? Okay. Try to get the answer next time. Now, I will give a clue. Now, see, it's almost 3 o'clock, right? I'll give you a clue, Puta. If you're working in a branch,
Excuse me.
yeah, go ahead.
Is it KT Chittasiri?
No. Somebody told me Kithasiri also. Not him. Not him. He may be the finance guy. Not KT Kithasiri. Okay. Right. So, I'll leave it to you. Right? You go, if you're working in a branch, if you just go around with your branch, his name comes either through your electronic gadgets, or there is a name was displayed in the your branch premises. Okay, now I'll give you a clue, because financial ombudsman name and the contact details and the address has to be displayed by your branch premises to show the customers. It's a must. Right. Now I leave it for you. Next week, I'll ask that question. Who is the current financial ombudsman in Sri Lanka? Financial ombudsman in Sri Lanka. Because his name or his place has to shown. Now you may have electronic gadgets, no? So display interest rates and all. There sometimes comes the name and the address at least. It's a must. Okay? Right. So we will stop.
RB Ranaraja is
Shelton Ranaraja, that is the third guy. Pranaraja is the third guy. Okay. So still try to find it out. Then you will never forget.
Mr. Anand Kumaradasa.
Ultimately, I got the names. Yes, good, very good. That's the correct answer. How do you aware of that? You the Tagara Belva, the Logela. So how are you aware on that? No, is the correct answer correct? Right? Hari. Okay, doesn't matter. Now, since somebody has given me answer, so we will discuss what is financial ombudsman, what is the objective of a financial ombudsman, what are the participant organization, what ombudsman can do, what is the role of ombudsman, how to make a complaint to the ombudsman by a customer, how much you charge, what is the maximum rewards the ombudsman can give to a customer, how to settle the disputes between the banks and the customer, right? All things we are going to learn where? Next week, right? Under Financial Ombudsman. Okay, thank you. So we
Excuse me,
will, yeah, sure, go ahead.
sir, what about the exam dates? Is it fixed or extended?
No, not that is the case. As I told in the beginning, now we are supposed to have it in early November. Now all depends, Putha, because of these people are now on strike, no, right? Because we must have an exam with the help of Education Ministry, no, right? So therefore, we need to wait. They are concerned, right, whether they agree for the government offer package or not. If they yes, there may be a chance. But top of that, we need to look at it, COVID-19 security issues also. Whether we can gather people, right? Then it is okay. Then comes the A-level. So that's the issue now. A-level must give priority, you know. Now, whether it is a before A-level or after A-level. And also in the meantime, we also changing our syllabus also, mind you, right? Right? So we are going for a degree level awarding going to start from 2022. I don't know what happened, but we are working on that. Now, your degree is coming from diploma in bank management. Then next stage is higher diploma in advanced diploma in bank management, and then final one is a degree. So all subjects are compulsory, right? So we will have some functions and announce all these things. You may have some credits once you complete these subjects. There may be a credit to other subjects, right? There is an opportunity, still we have not discussed. So all depends on the environment. Okay, right, Putha? I understood, no? So exam, I can't tell you now exactly till we have to wait and see what Joseph Stalin is saying, right? Because they say, we are working on that. And also that's a one area. Another area, our COVID-19, right? So can we gather together to have exam? That's a two important factor be taken. And then A-level exam also. If A-level exam is had it, we are going to have it quick, definitely. Earlier we planned to have it just before the A-level. Now since A-level has postponed to January or February or somewhere, we may have, but still there are some O-level, some marks also there, no? I think that's the issue, but that is not a big one. Then of course we can have it in November, at least. Right? Late November, we may have it. So be prepared anyhow. So get ready. Okay. So we will see you on next Sunday. Same time. And do the next. Okay. Thank you.